It's Wednesday, the 13th of April, 2020. And people, this might be the most unusual podcast I've ever made. And how so? Because it has one exclusive purpose: to support and introduce the link. That's it. Everything else is going to be construed as fluff. So, at any time in this podcast, if you want to stop the podcast, ignore the rest, and go right to that link, by all means do it, because that is what is critically important on this 2:45 in the morning of the 13th. All kinds of weather hell breaking outside my home 20. Tell you what, people, I've said it 100 times. Oh, yes. I don't know that YouTube will even allow this link to go through. If it does not, do not forget my email, outpost, one word, OUTPOST, at midco, MID as in Delta, midco.net. All right. Critically important. I'm telling you, this only exists, this podcast today, to support and introduce the link. But let's go on a little bit here, because I'm going to make a statement that you guys are going to say, that is incredible. Well, here's my statement, people. How many times have I told you I am flexible, maximally fluid, and the most incredibly humble messenger in the world you've ever met? Well, now I'm going to tell you something. You're going to say, wow, that's rank arrogance. Yeah, I am one of the most valuable assets, people, you have. And I don't know that some of you people know that. I am one of the most qualified watchmen on the walls anywhere around the United States. That's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. And who to this day still doesn't know how I got this job? I really don't. I wish I could lie to you people, but I can't. Does that sound arrogant? I don't mean it to be. It's just the facts. And incredible claims do require incredible evidence. Never forget that. I hope to bring this to your attention and cement it in your thoughts, in your mind, that yes, you do have an incredible, valuable asset and the most flexible, fluid, and incredibly humble watchman on the wall. Yours truly. Okay, enough blowing smoke up your ass. Here we go. Of course, we're going to have to talk about the weather. And ranchers, I feel your pain. Now, I've got a fully loaded pickup truck with a massive load of wood on the back for traction, because I know how pathetic it is to drive a pickup in four-wheel drive and nothing in the back end. Won't belabor that port, because just in case some dumbass is out there driving and their shit gets stuck, and the good Samaritan that I am, I'll go pull them out and chastise them and say, what in the fuck are you doing out here? Anyhow, ranchers, I feel your pain, because if your luck is anything like mine, and I know your cabin, a lot of you are, and you might have a half a dozen that can drop at any time. If your luck is anything like mine, they're going to drop in the worst of the worst of this 2-day onslaught. So let's talk about the weather. And here's what I find unusual, people. When I was at the bottom of Peter Pit, when this all just began yesterday afternoon, probably around 1:30, I'm out there having a smoky smoke. And, of course, I'm inside. When I'm inside, drinking a tall, cool, crisp Millennium Budweiser, no doubt about that. And I'm getting pelleted. I'm getting pelted with high winds and almost little styrofoam particles of snow. Now, my memory fades, and the older you get, it's going to happen. Back in the day, back when I was a kid, and these blizzards occurred in Minneapolis area, it didn't look like this shit. So I'm just going to ask you, I'm not going to belabor this point, when it's all over and done, grab a handful of this stuff called snow, and you analyze it. Tell me, what are these little pellets all about? It's terribly cold snow, I'll give you that. And it's slippery. Just play around with it and say, oh yeah, nothing to see here, people. Let's move on. Never heard of the word chemical nucleation. No evidence of that happening. No guy with his hand on the big knob, or two guys on their hands with the lever. So, let's get into this weather. And what's particularly concerning to me is, also back in the day, when you had that mid-spring blizzard, 2-3 days later, you jumped right up into the low 60s, mid 60s, approaching 70. Well, that ain't the case in Willow City for the next 7 days. Let me just run down the lows. Tomorrow it's a 13. Friday it's an 8. Saturday it's an 11. Sunday it's a 13. These are lows. Monday it's a 9. Tuesday it's a 25. Wednesday it's a 23. Finally on Thursday we get up to 25, and I've been running my dogs in 25s and 30s for the last 2 weeks. And we get a decent high of shitty 40. Now, I didn't give you any of the highs because they're not impressive. They lay and lurk around the 20s, barely crawling into the 30s next Wednesday. What is the purpose of weather control? We got to control, and you got to cool down Mama Earth. Yeah, too much CO2, too much greenhouse gas, too big of a carbon footprint. Tell you people. Now, I've just read you the weather script as Raytheon put it out there on the internet. Will these values stay and maintained throughout the next week? I don't know. They can change it anytime they want to switch the knob left or right. But that's what I'm going to tell you. Now, if you look back at our long travels together, my shoutings from the wall, tell you some people, you have to wonder sometimes, is there a method to this madness of mine? I mean, look at how some of these podcasts seem to be non-related. You go from don't go into the caves, check what's in your water, all the way to some good scientific principles, nuclear wars, and the Bible. You talk about government lies, and I talk about media lies. Have we not been doing this for at least the last couple of weeks? Yes, we have. Quite a diversity of subjects. But are they related or are they random? Am I just throwing shit out there on the internet to amuse you people, to entertain you so that you'll come back and get another dose tomorrow? Well, what is the real job of a watchman after all? Is it to convert you? Really? Is it to convert you so that you see things my way? Why, people? There is absolutely no money in that. Just strictly speaking from a business model. It's not only no money in this, it's just the opposite. It's a waste of time. And have you ever heard the expression? Time is money. So, I mean, I just want to, it's not a wasted time. I don't mean to just take it that way. I'm just saying, if you think I'm doing this so I can convert you to my way of thinking, so you believe as I believe, you couldn't be more wrong. No money in that plan. Is it to inform you? Well, yes, in part. That's absolutely true. But let's kick it up a notch, people. Is it to warn you? And today, I'm warning you, people. I am screaming at you. Watch the link. If I don't have any credibility with you, if I can't motivate you to watch this link, what am I doing here? And look at it. As bad as this weather is, and it's just raging outside my church. Say, let me tell you a word about this church. I have a love-hate relationship with this building. I love it 8 months out of the year. It is paradise. Grandkids love it. They run up down one side, up the other, up to the loft. They love it. But it's a bitch. B-I-T-C-H. To heat. Yes, it sucks. And this winter sucked. Okay, on the other side of the coin. This building is rock solid. I hear all that storming winds out there, howling winds out there. Nothing. You know, you ever live in a mobile home or a poorly built rambler house? Yeah, you know what I mean. I am convinced this building could take a head-on Category 5 tornado, and the tornado would blow apart. I'm getting to the point that I'm convinced this building could take a direct hit from a Russian nuclear-tipped hypersonic missile, and the goddamn missile would bounce off. This baby is rock solid. That's the takeaway there. Okay, the main job of a watchman, and you got a good one here, I don't want to pat myself on the back, I'm going to break my arm, is to warn. And like I said, today I am screaming the whole purpose of this podcast. Watch the link. Stop my ramblings and bullshit anytime you want along this, because we're not going to learn anything more. This is it. This is everything you need to know. Now, you guys don't know the guy, Stuart Crane, back in the 80s. I knew of him. He had a saying that if you know the words, you know the science. For example, if you can pick up a chemistry book and you know every word in what it means, its definition, you know chemistry. And that goes for medicine. And that goes for law. If you know what the words mean, you know the discipline, the subject under consideration. Who's going to argue with that? Now, why is that critically important to this particular link? We're going to talk. It's got to do with, just give me a couple of spoiler alerts. It's got to do with medicine, and it has to do with Latin. A lot of Latin, people, is in medicine and in law. Put that thought in your mind. Watch this link, people. That's all I'm going to tell you. I'm going to bail on you right now. I still ran long. For those of you that shut up early, you saved yourself a lot of wear and tear on your hearing. I got stuff to do, even in the onslaught of a blizzard.